All right, I'll open the select board meeting July 1st, 2024 at 5 p.m. First on our agenda is to open the hearing for the procedural defect town meeting that will be coming up. So I'm going to read that warrant. And it's titled Procedural Defect Meeting Warrant. The procedural defect meeting will be held at the Canterbury Meeting House, 7 Center Road on Monday, the 15th of July, 2024 at 5 o'clock to act on the following subjects. To see if the town will vote to ratify the results of the March 12th, 2024 annual meeting, even though the proper budget form was not posted. Given under our hands and seal this first day of July, the year of our Lord, 2024. We need to sign this, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll ask for any comments from the public.
Do you want to address the reason?
Yeah, the reason for this was when we posted the budget, we did not use the DRA, Department of Revenue Administration form. We used our own format, and in the process of submitting all the paperwork after town meeting, the DRA picked up on it and asked us to hold this procedural defect meeting. It's nothing that's really of concern. The budget was posted, it just was not on the form that the DRA provides. So,
Same budget.
same budget, no different numbers, nothing like that, just a different form.
And do we need to keep it open for?
We can leave it open for 15, 20 minutes. There's no set time for it.
Okay. And can we move on?
We just have to remember to close it, that's all.
Understood. I'm guessing somebody will remind me.
I'm gonna remember.
You set a timer?
No,
I
I'm
think
gonna remember.
Cal is
Okay.
going to remember.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So sick of this problem.
I'll be over soon.
This too shall pass.
Exactly. All right, so we've got stuff to sign. All right, so first one is an accounts payable manifest in the amount of $441,736.46.
So moved.
And seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
There was a
I was just gonna.
school payment in there.
Yep, I
Yeah.
just saw it.
Is that why I was so
That's why it's so
bad?
high.
All right.
And I always forget, Cal, these are available at the town offices, like in the afternoon, if I wanted to come peruse them beforehand.
Yes,
There wasn't time for that today, but in future.
Yeah.
Thank you.
before or after, once Mary makes it, it's just sitting in the pile.
Yeah. Cal, do you want the accounts payable or just the payroll to come to you?
I want both of the accounts payable.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can
There's
take
two accounts there.
All right, so there's that. Oh yeah, this is the second one. All right, so another accounts payable manifest in the amount of $99,231.13.
So moved.
Is there a note on there for
There's
Mary?
a note from,
There's a note from, that says pass it to Cal.
She wrote notes on several of the
I
items.
think,
All right, see attached. Oh, okay, here we go.
yeah.
All right, so on the all right, so on the CCD payment, she says, I never had this released on 6/26/24 in error, so it was resubmitted. Which is, okay, so which is why the date changed from June 26th to July the 1st.
for which payment is that, Scott?
CCD, which I'll let you look when.
Okay.
All right, so that's the same note. think that covers it. Notes. And then she said, okay, so paid by ACH 6/26/24. And I think that's it for that, so. And I'm sorry, did we do a motion?
Yes, you did. And
Thank you.
made a motion.
Losing track already, that's a bad sign.
Yeah, so they can send the pictures to them out.
I'm not sure if you all voted aye though.
Aye.
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 Just in
Now it's
case, let's
official.
get a second one.
It just felt like we were missing something there, so.
It was a procedural defect.
So I believe that's a bond payment. And they're asking that we do an ACH transfer, electronic transfer of funds instead of writing a check now.
Okay.
That was I believe that's the bond payment.
Yes. Bond payment invoice.
Thank you.
Please.
Nobody can. All right, and then we have a payroll manifest in the amount of $79,828.37.
So moved.
And seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, I think we got it right.
Mhm.
Ken, we'll move on to minutes.
Yep.
You want this, Ken, or? Yeah. As long as I'm sure I have some stuff over.
Sure.
Okay. All right, so let's look first at the June 17, 2024 public minutes.
Look good to me.
You said the 17th?
17.
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah, I did not see
I didn't either.
anything on this.
All right, so looking for a motion then.
So moved.
Cal?
I don't know how much time it'll save, but I suggested doing them in two batches, the public and
The publics?
and the non-public.
Understood. So that would be the 26th at the Meeting House and then the 27th at the Sand Lake House.
So moved.
And just a second. Wait, so what are we doing now?
We're gonna do the 17th,
Yeah,
the 26th of
both.
June and the 27th of June. All
You
in
can-
one.
You can make a motion to accept all of them at once.
Oh, to accept all. All right, then I need, if you would be so
Well,
kind, I just
You can
need,
make changes or whatever if you need to, but
no, I need half a moment to just finish eyeballing the executive minutes for
Actually,
the
we're gonna-
17th.
we're gonna move on to that after this. We're just doing public meeting minutes
Oh,
right now.
okay, yeah, I did not see anything in the public meeting. Public meeting minutes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
I did not see anything in either of those that
Okay.
changed.
All right. So looking for a motion to accept all three.
So moved.
And seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so now let's turn to the minutes from the June 17th executive session.
All right, that's the one I hadn't read yet, excuse me.
I have an argument, so.
Excuse us while we read.
Reading is good.
Yes.
All right, any corrections to the executive session of June 17th?
No.
Looking for a motion.
So moved.
And seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so let's turn our attention to the executive session of June 27th. We're looking for a motion.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, I think that gets us through all the minutes.
Do you want the executive minutes back in our brightly colored folders or just plain?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I would like your brightly colored folders back eventually, so
And
All right.
if now is a good
That's
time.
Yes,
a fine
absolutely.
time.
I'm gonna keep the other minutes, Cal, but I'll give you back the executive.
Yes.
Kent, looking for your executive. Thank you, sir. All right. And Cal, you're gonna look and keep us honest, just in case. Not that I haven't done
The
this.
public hearing is still open.
Yes, it is.
Alright. Yeah.
All right.
And actually, the public hearing's been open now for about 12 minutes.
So you can,
All right, so,
hold on. Scott, you only gave me back one.
I knew I'd be in trouble.
I'm ready to
See, that's why I said keep me honest.
It's got your name at the top of it, bro.
Yeah. Thank you. See?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So what do we need? A motion to
Motion to
close
close the
the
public hearing.
public hearing?
So moved.
And seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then from here, we need to,
sign the warrant.
yep, we've signed. So we have that whole packet. That was a squeaker, huh, Jim?
I was on the edge of my chair.
Aye.
A lot of weird stuff
Let me
goes
just make
on
sure we
nowadays,
have-
and you never know.
Cal, do you want this whole thing back?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Because now I'm gonna go post that.
Very good.
Excellent.
All right.
Alright, thank
I
you.
go feed the dogs.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jim.
My pleasure. What is it? Ooh.
Fun stuff.
Oh, might want to stay.
I might stay next time. Right.
It's a good picture. Abe Lincoln. All right,
I took that.
it looks like Howard canceled?
He did.
Yes.
Okay,
They requested to be put on the next meeting.
okay. All right, so that brings us to fire department special detail policy?
Yes. Which is a copy of it in there.
No.
Oh.
Correct.
Basically, what it does is, it creates the fire department, special detail policy is gonna mirror the police department. So it will be fire and police special detail policy.
Rate wise.
All the rates will be the same.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what it's gonna accomplish. So we'll get that so you can sign it and then go into effect and then we don't have to worry about different rates and.
Okay.
it'll
Will
be
it say
easier.
fire police or was it going to be fire, even though they're exactly the
It'll
same?
say both,
fire,
it'll say
police?
Canterbury Fire and Police Department, special detail rates.
Yeah.
And they're the
Just for
same.
up the track, or?
It's for wherever they have to work.
And this is the one, when did we approve the last one? 2 meetings ago? Well, it wasn't in Oregon, so it must have been 2 meetings
Sounds about
at
right.
least.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least.
All right, so we already approved one, the second one's going to be
Yes.
exactly like it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Do we need to say anything about that tonight or when we actually have it?
No, when we
Yeah.
get it to you guys, we'll.
Yeah.
Perfect. That
Okay.
was not 10 minutes. So thank you.
right? That's a good thing. All right, where do you want to go next?
The next is the road waiver application for Wyven Road.
We have the application back, right, from the,
The yellow folder has the application
Thank you.
and all of the stuff in it. We've gotten it signed by everybody except for the planning board and yourselves.
right, I see we have a planning board representative here tonight. Okay, so why don't we do this? This is not a public hearing, but in the interest of fairness, I'd like to give parties a chance to address the select board before we. John, do you want to address the select board? If so, please come up and have a seat and.
We just didn't, it fell through the cracks on our part. We didn't get it on the agenda, and we did not meet on the topic. I believe we're going to try and get it on the agenda for the 9th, and speak as a board then. That's all I've got to say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Folks, anything you want to say before we?
No, I
Okay.
don't think you want.
All right. Okay. So, I want to explain how I'm going to vote and say that, we are going to vote tonight. So I want us to move along with this, so we are going to do so.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, Mr. Chair. The audio was wonderful until you started this matter, and now it's going in and out. I'm not sure if you could adjust the mics, but for those of us online, all of a sudden it's become difficult to hear. That's all I wanted to add. Thank you.
Thank you. Cal, what do you think?
The mic is in the thing mounted on the ceiling.
Attorney Manzelli, can you hear me now?
It's still spottier than it was at the beginning of the meeting. I've turned up my end as loud as you can. Maybe if you guys could just speak a little bit louder and a little bit slower. I know it's kind of unnatural, but it would be very helpful.
No worries. And Attorney Manzelli, while you're there, did you want to address the select board before we?
Thank you. Sure, I'll take that opportunity on behalf of the residents at the southern end of the road, just to repeat our position. This is a private road because of the vote in 1941. We provided a copy of the actual law that documents that no court action was needed to discontinue that road. And Mr. Nash does not have an easement to use the road. So even though he's willing to agree to maintain it, it's not his road to maintain. Thank you.
Thank you. Cal, I can't see who the other, is there another person online?
I see Deborah Tomasek and somebody with the initials MI.
Other folks who are online, does anybody wish to address the select board on this matter? Okay, hearing nothing. Let's proceed then. So I've looked at all the documents available, taken the submissions from all parties involved, read them as thoroughly as I could. My vote tonight is going to be that Wyven Rd is a private road. Kent, I'll turn it over to you next.
I'm going to be of the same opinion. It is a private road, I believe.
And
So I'll be voting in favor.
Yes, I would vote in favor to private road.
do we need a motion? Okay,
That's just the,
yeah.
Do we still have an opportunity to speak or no?
Go right ahead.
So what does that mean? You're saying it's a private road, so we live on that road too.
Yep.
So
Yes.
we too own part of that
So,
road.
well,
So it's private, the entire road, to all residents on that road?
That's correct. It's
So it's not their end and our end, it's our road.
correct. So we're seeing the entire, all of Wyven Road as a private road.
so does that mean we can go out the south end, or does that?
That's
mean
a
no?
matter that we can't answer for you.
Okay. Now, how do we get that gate moved off our end of the road? Because the gate is 15 feet on.
Understood. That's also not a matter that the town, I don't believe, can weigh in on. So,
So who do we, just have to have our lawyer? Okay.
Yeah, that's, as far as the issuance of the road waiver. Are we gonna do that tonight? Yeah. So we'll do that tonight. We'll get your road waiver issued. And then I think that's kind of the extent of our involvement.
So, on the, road waiver, we put in there that we would like to access the piece of property from the southerly end.
And I believe that is part of the road waiver?
The road agent, the road improvement upgrade agreement that the road agent put together shows a access from the southern portion of the road.
Okay. So, just to be clear, so we can access those pieces of property from the southerly end?
The road agent gave the upgrade agreement based on that.
Okay.
I think this is, from what I understand, it's not the town's responsibility to dictate or to give permission one way or the other. You chose, I guess the road agent met with Mr. Nash and discussed where you would like to come in, and he based his
His
upgrade
opinion
agreement.
was saying it'd be easier for you to go off the south
Yep.
end versus
Yep.
the other end. So do we have to now have him, I don't understand.
What's the next steps after it,
So
after it's approved?
the selectmen are gonna grant the road waiver tonight,
Okay,
then it's up to you guys to go from there.
okay.
Yeah. Do we need a motion on the road waiver?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll make a motion that we grant a road waiver to Mr. Nash. Is it the Alfred Nash Family Trust?
Yes.
So that's my motion.
So moved.
And seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And do we get a copy of that packet
Yes.
as well? Okay,
Yeah, of course.
thank you.
All right, and Ken, we're signing
You're signing at the very end, it says.
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for all of your time in this matter. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
What's the note?
You know, the funny thing is, when my daughter was gonna move down the other end, nobody had any issue with it. And now that I'm gonna sell it to some,
Is there any place else for you to sign or just that one spot? And then there's a, okay,
There's a, I think that is the only spot, and that is the part that gets recorded.
and there is a witness, next to each signature.
So we'll witness it
Yeah.
and
Yes, thank you.
stamp it,
Thank you very
record it.
much.
yeah.
Mr. Chair,
Good night, John.
Good night.
Good night.
before we close this matter, I just want to clarify, the town is not, having a position or providing any advice to any party about anyone's rights to use any portion of the road. Is that correct?
That is correct, Attorney Manzelli.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
You're welcome.
This was, I didn't know if you had.
Done.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Yeah, thank you.
And the copy of this will be on file in the town office.
Correct, and part of it gets recorded.
And should we check that box?
Yes.
Maybe initial, but you checked it
Of course.
today?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll date it today.
Yeah.
All right, and I don't think that there's any place else we need to
So where we sign was
sign.
just the select board. page,
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah,
And the only place that designates anything is the box you just checked, correct? Unless there's that page.
right.
Is that the page that gets recorded?
Maybe?
Yes, this is the one that gets, this is the actual, legal agreement. So, let's see. There's one place I believe for signature for a second.
Yeah.
Is there one or two?
It looks like,
Is there two right there for second?
or maybe
There is three. Yep, yep,
But
there is.
we all sign that.
Yep, you all signed that. And that is actually the portion that gets, there's one right here too.
I noticed that actually.
There's actually two.
Do we want to sign both?
One copy.
Maybe we,
for-
well,
We're all signed.
yes.
Yes,
Yeah, why don't you sign two and then we'll have, we
Yeah.
actually sign.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
and then sign one and then they can take one home and we'll record that with the deed.
Thank you.
there's that one,
Yeah.
same.
All right, 3 signatures on that one.
Does it tell me on there on the thickness and all that, and the width and all that?
Specification.
Actually, you've
Yes,
got, yeah.
Okay, so
I'm
this is
gonna
the
give
road
you, not on
upgrade
the
agreement.
thing
This
that you're
is the
signing, but
actual,
it packet, which I'm gonna scan
This is the
everything and
actual
send it to you
one.
tomorrow.
that gets
has
registered and signed. We'll take
The
care of
whole
that.
thing
Okay,
from the
this
road
is just
agent, and that
like-
has the like the
Okay.
width and the thickness and the stuff.
All right, so there's that one back. Yeah, so that's actually 2 of the same document, though, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, which the road agent didn't sign this, so he has to sign it. The road agent has to sign that. And then-
Okay.
The road agent has to sign this upgrade agreement, and then we'll get it to you guys so you can have a copy of it.
But do the Nashes need to sign that at this time?
Sure you can.
But if I sign that
The
now
road
on
agent has to
the,
sign that.
on the road part,
Yeah, but I don't have it says the following improvements.
Oh, he didn't, I thought he gave you all that as part of this.
He did it as part of that, but I just need to show them that.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it possible to take a copy with us, review it, and then, bring it in
Sign it?
and sign it
Okay.
then? So we can look at it?
You
We
can,
haven't seen it.
Sure.
And then,
sure. Yep.
we can have the road agent sign your end, and then we can come and have him sign it. Does that make sense?
Do we have a copy of you? No.
Yeah, I have a
it's
copy.
not like the sign.
All right, so this is a copy that you can take with you of what the road agent said.
Okay.
Here we go. And so if you want to take that home and review it with you, you can.
Okay.
And then come in tomorrow and sign it, or
And what is
you
the
could sign
sign?
it now.
Can I just see what that's?
Should John do it, you know?
And then I can have John sign it.
Yes.
Because
Can I just
If I-
take a picture? Is that
Sure.
okay? to do?
Yeah, no, all right. And I'll send you the rest of this packet tomorrow, which has the other comments from the different departments.
Okay, it's the same thing, right?
so if I sign that before reading what he said on the thickness of the gravel and all that, does that mean I'm binded into that one?
Should probably just read it first.
That's okay.
Always best to read something
Yes,
first.
how about you take it home, you read it
Okay.
first, I'll give you the rest of this tomorrow,
Okay,
and I'll be in the office tomorrow, so.
okay, thank you. Thank you very
Do
much.
we know when John will be in the office, or can we ask him to be in at a certain time so that it all
I can
happens?
just go up the hill and.
Yeah, we have his cell phone number, we can just call and
Okay.
ask him to come in.
All right.
Can I have the yellow folder?
This one? Yeah,
Yes, please.
with everything in,
With
right?
everything in it.
Yeah.
So I can put this back.
All right.
All right. Unless you folks have anything further, I think we're done tonight.
No, because basically now it's anything that we do with our lawyer versus whatever
Correct. Yeah.
else.
So we have
Alright.
access to our property. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Alrighty.
All right.
Attorney Manzelli, we're done, so unless you've got anything further. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great night and happy 4th.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
Bye, be
Thank
safe.
you. Perhaps see you tomorrow.
Good night, folks. Take care.
All right, thank you.
All right, next is approved police department job descriptions.
So
I had,
we're,
sorry, go ahead.
Beth, had some notes on some of them.
I had notes, but when I talked with Ken this morning, it doesn't seem like tonight is necessarily the time to go over them, but I just printed them out so you would have them. And then next week, next meeting, the department heads will be in.
Yeah, that would be a time.
Okay, so these are your
These are
questions
my
concerning
personal
the job
comments.
descriptions. I understand.
And some of them can be answered by us, by the staff.
Yep.
And some of them need to be answered by the police chief.
Yeah, they're just saying as I was reading them, and it's mostly, what kind of training? That seems to be my biggest question.
Okay.
If someone is going to be a matron for female prisoners, what kind of training is needed? That's not specified.
Understood.
And something like that to me should be, and most of the questions are like that.
Sure.
There's a couple of grammatical errors on there too.
Do you need a question, do you need this, Ken?
Can you,
Or I can email this to you.
can you email that
Yes.
to me? And can you tell me,
Chief of Police is CHIEF.
Oh, this is a spelling
We got
mistake
short.
on, this is just a spelling mistake on,
oh, on there, not on the job description?
not on the job description.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is me typing at
These are
about 300
facts.
miles an hour to get
Oh,
to
okay.
meeting in town. This is not, I'm surprised that there isn't more that's typed, that's misspelled
Yeah, that's
here.
good, actually.
But, anyway. If I'm allowed to use my, oh no, I'll do it at the end of the meeting. I'll email this to you. Just remind me at the end of the meeting, I'll do it while we're here. Thank you.
I have it too, because you emailed it to me.
Oh, yes,
So
okay,
I can forward it.
okay.
All right, anything else on the police department job description then tonight? Okay.
No, it seemed more prudent to do it when the police department, the chief was sitting right there in front of us.
Yeah. All right, next on our agenda is the 2024 budget review,
Yes.
which goes with this document that you gave out at the beginning.
Yep. So you guys were handed the profit loss
Yep.
budget at our last meeting. And if you have copies, if you brought your copies with you tonight, I can go down through. If not, I put this little sheet together here. And I just went through this and again, we're halfway through the year now, or almost halfway through the year. So I'd like to just try to keep people advised on what's going on. The budgets that have been overexpended, you can see, and I'll just go down real quick. The first one under general government, and the budget line is 4130.25 miscellaneous. We put $100 in there in the budget, and that is kind of a catch-all for things that we do not plan for in the town office, the staff. And you can see that we overexpended it by $1,300. And that was, and you can see the reason, we had to reimburse, when Dave Nelson retired, we had to reimburse him for some healthcare costs that he had already paid. So that is a big chunk of it.
Okay, that's mine.
And that was $1,100. The rest of it is, we bought a Knox box for the gate up at the rest area, at the request of the property owner, and we didn't know where to get that money from, so we just took it out of this.
Yeah.
That was $162. And then
Is
we
that the
had,
back gate for the rest area? or-
yeah, off of 132. There had been people using it apparently to access the interstate on a regular basis.
That's crazy.
It was left unlocked for the employees of the rest area,
Yeah.
and next thing you know, there were people that are actually using it to access the interstate. So the property owner asked about putting a lock on it, and talked with the fire department, and they felt a Knox lock, so they have access to it if they have to get in that way. And then there's also a reimbursement. There was an overpayment of health care, health insurance for one of the other employees for Aflac. And so that was just, that was a couple of small ones. The big one was when Dave Nelson retired. We had to resubmit, reimburse him for some money. The next one is elections, miscellaneous supplies. We've overspent it by $100 so far this year, but we have 2 more elections. So that one's gonna go up. And that is, you know, we have to get supplies, pencils and things like that. We have to supply food and beverages for the poll workers. So that's one of the expenses that comes out of that. The next one is legal, line 4153. You can see we've overspent that by almost $4,000. And we anticipate more bills for that. So that one's gonna be fairly well overexpended. Another one, the planning board, secretary wages, 4192.2. You can see we've overexpended that line by $4,000. And they've had a lot of meetings and a lot of minutes and things like that, so Lois gets paid by the hour, and so that was one of the reasons, that's one of the reasons. And again, we're only halfway through the year, so we expect that to be overexpended quite a bit.
Yeah.
Under general government buildings, 4194.2 is town hall maintenance, and we overexpended that because we had the flood in the bathroom there, so we redid the floors in the bathroom and the kitchen. So we overexpended that line by about $4,000, but I think you approved the transfer from the building funds to cover that. Municipal building maintenance is over just by $16, but again, we're halfway through the year. There is another sheet that's attached to that one, and that lists all of the expenditures for that. A big one was the solar panel repairs. I think, there was $2,000 worth of solar panel repairs, garage doors, the diesel pump had to be rewired, and then some plumbing issues, AED pads, things like that. So the mailbox for the police department. So we're halfway through the year, and so we're overspending on that one already.
While we're in the area of the municipal building, I did have a couple of questions about that, if I can ask them now.
Sure.
So what was municipal building alarms?
So-
We're already over that, but.
Yes, they come in and test the alarms every year.
Yeah.
And it was more than we anticipated. Their bill went up a little bit
Oh,
for the
and
alarms.
is that the one time, they test them once a
That'll be
year?
a one-time,
Okay,
that's a
one-time.
one-time fee.
Okay.
So that shouldn't, we paid all that we should have paid on
Okay.
that one.
And then municipal electricity is,
Correct, is up.
and Sam Lake electricity, what's that?
Is
about?
up. So we had counted on switching over to community power,
Yeah,
and apparently there was an issue. We just started last month getting billed correctly. I'm not sure. Howard helped us out with it, and I'm not sure what happened, but we kept getting billed by First Point instead of switching over to community power.
and it's not like they're gonna do it in arrears and say, oh, okay. So, I mean, we have for a municipal center, it's a $9,000 budget, and we're already up at, 5 months in, it's
Yep.
6,300.
Mhm.
So,
I would say that the electric bill has dropped considerably, so we switched over to community power.
okay. Can we make a guesstimate, like 2 months out?
I
about
can
when it'll be for the rest of the year?
try, I will say the municipal building uses a lot of electricity.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
And again, a lot of it is weather dependent. If the highway department is using the welders and the compressors and all that stuff, that's what drives up the cost of the electricity up there.
Did we set the budget, assuming we'd be on community power?
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And that assumption was not correct for the first 5 months anyway. Got it. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Okay,
We
sorry.
edit that out, or?
Okay.
Let's see, moving down, on the fire department, engine 2, as the chief told you at the last meeting, they had a mechanical problem, they had to get it towed. So right now, we're over budgeted on the maintenance line on engine 2. And then down, budgets that need to be watched, tanker 1, same thing. We have $397 left in that maintenance line. And then, if you look at line 4220.13, weekend reimbursement, it looks like we only have $1,300 or almost $1,400 left in that. And my notes on this, majority of this is for per diem, so we're gonna move that to the wage line. It was mistakenly put under weekend reimbursement. So that's why that was in there.
Can we pause for half a second?
Sure.
The line 4220.5 is dispatch. That was also already over.
Yes, and that's,
Is that because of the increased number of calls that we've had that
No.
we can't really?
nope, their prices went up. We don't get a contract price with them until after we do our budget, so.
I think they did upgrades.
They did do upgrades, and that's why the cost went up. The 28,489 was our best estimate
Best
based
guess.
on the capital area mutual aid compact, and it ended up being about $800 more.
Okay.
$800.
And do we, is this ongoing? So the amount we've already spent, like 29,000?
That's all we'll spend this year.
Oh, that's it? All right.
We paid them the full amount that we owe them.
All right, great.
Yep.
All on here. Thank you.
I think those are the only ones that I had. Other than the total overall budget is in real good shape.
Yeah.
We've actually, if you go look at the operating line total 491, it's on the last page of the budget. That includes the payouts to the cap reserves. If you subtract that, because that's actually not part of the operating budget, if you subtract that 118,000, we're down to about 33.6% expended so far this year. So we're actually looking pretty good.
Is that because we don't have many employees?
Correct.
Is
Our
that-
wages are for both the highway and the police are the ones where there's quite a bit of money left over. And then there's other areas that typically don't get spent towards the end of the year. Winter salt, things like that. We haven't bought winter salt yet, so that's not, the paving line hasn't been expended yet. Things like that. So that's why there's some seasonal things, but a big majority of it is the wage lines.
And there's a couple of giant incomes. When do we get like the, from the state?
The highway block
permit-
grants.
Well, the block grants, but also the, there was like state permitting. No, when do we get these? Wait a minute. The highway block, rooms and meals.
Yeah.
Motor vehicle permits, the motor vehicle state portion, that's like $575,000. When did those come in?
The majority of those will come in, usually it's sometime in late fall, October, November.
Okay.
The state likes to hold on to its money.
That's kind of what I figured.
Yes, they do.
But I was like, no, I just thought I'd figure out when the heck those things are
Yeah.
coming in.
And then there was one more thing on the municipal building maintenance line. It's gonna show an overage. The water up there, we continue to have problems with it. Our water softener just is not taking care of the water up there. There's a lot of
At the
real high
municipal
iron
center?
content.
Yeah.
High iron content. And so we're getting estimates on an additional iron filter. It'll probably be in the range around $4,000.
Yeah.
I've spoken with the police chief, has asked, he's looking at his wage lines and he said, you know what? He said, I'm gonna have that left over at the end of the year. He said, so if we can get that fixed, I'd really appreciate it.
Who do we talk to for that?
So I have 3 bids coming in. So We've got one so far, we have 2 more people coming in, but one was in on Friday, and there's another one coming in next
Because
week.
I know even my personal water softener, Capital Well, last time they came out, they've got a whole new technology for that they wanted me to upgrade my whole system.
We have Capital Well, McBride Water Services out of Epsom.
Yeah.
And then we have ARM, which is Advanced Radon Management. And they're the ones that are currently doing the water softener. But the fire department can't launder their gear up there because of the water. They have a commercial washer that they got a grant for, and they purchased, and they can't use it because there's so much iron content in the water.
Yeah.
They have to go and allow them to launder their gear and their turnout gear. So hopefully we can get this thing straightened out.
Does Loudon charge us for that, or are they just?
No, I think so. Yeah.
Nice, okay.
But,
Yeah.
So, anyway, there's gonna be another expense on that line, but again, it's a bottom line budget, and I think we'll be able to absorb that through other areas, so.
Do you have time for a couple more questions?
Sure.
As long as we're here?
Yeah.
Groundwater testing, is that up at the transfer station?
Yes.
Why is that so much?
So,
That's already over, and is that done for the year?
so that's done for the year. What happens is, they typically test in November, but the lab results don't get back until after the first of the year, so we don't get billed for it until after the first of the year. So what happens is, we don't know how to budget for it. I mean, we try to budget for it, but invariably, the costs of lab costs end up going up.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I know in the past few years, the state has required us to get additional testing because of the PFAS and PFOS up there. So that costs more money, and the majority of the costs of that monitoring are the lab testing.
Okay.
The Aries Engineering does our monitoring for us. They come collect the samples and send it off to an independent lab for testing. And the majority of that cost is the lab testing, so.
Okay. That's great, and there was just one, line 4191.5, professional services are actually what?
Is that planning board professional services?
No, I think it just says professional services.
4191?
4191, unless I wasn't
Yep.
paying attention.
Yep.
Is that planning board?
Yep, that's planning board
Oh,
professional
right.
services. So that is typically the Central New Hampshire Planning Commission, or if they have to hire a consultant or something like that.
Got it.
They have been expending that line for the master plan, for the
Okay,
Central New Hampshire Plan.
that's what I figured.
There's $1,800 left in
Yeah.
there, and that is what they use to pay off for the master plan.
And when it says selectmen seminars, that's line 4130.5. Is that, I'm assuming that did not include the recent right
That
to
does
know
not.
seminars.
That includes seminars you've attended, I believe.
Like, right to know and
Yes.
hard road to travel, et cetera.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
But the right to know ones that we hosted from the
That would
town
come
just
under
came out
legal.
of plain old legal.
That would
Okay.
come under legal.
I think. Oh, the other thing was, under income, it looked like income from DBA fees was way up. Did their fees go up?
No, but they've had more
Line
meetings.
3401.3.
So it looks like we received $880,
Yeah.
so, which is about correct.
And we're planning to get 3,500 total for the year?
It's an estimate based on
Okay.
last couple of years,
Okay.
so we'll see what happens.
All right, I don't know why that looked like their rates had gone up, but I didn't
No.
know if they had or not.
No,
Okay.
No.
And I think that was it, except that everything, when you took the number and divided it up and multiplied by 12 and blah, 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 it looked good. So thank you.
yes.
Thanks all budgeters.
Can I bring something up now that's a little out of order? It refers to the municipal complex. We got a minute, or you want to do it afterwards?
I'm okay with it now.
So and this ties into what we've been discussing, the costs going up on, because we're not on the town CCPC, Community Power. And so Howie and Lenore and Tom Franco and Kent have taken it on to find a place we can put some panels. And Lenore's found a potential gift of, I think it's $120,000, which isn't that much, but we've been looking around for places to put panels. If we're going to collect this money, it has to go onto municipal buildings. So, up the hill, Elkins,
Transfer
When you say
station.
on
transfer
the,
station.
when you say on the building, you mean it physically has to go on the building?
No.
It can't be ground
No,
mount?
it can be ground mount. The problem is, it's gonna be it's more expensive to go on the ground than it is on the roof.
Yeah.
And so everybody keeps staring at the garage. And I still have the same problem, and I thought I'd check with you, we're still leaking up there. And I have said no as a selectman without consulting anybody, but I've been saying no because I didn't want to see it be thought of as a potential site up there. What is, I think, in a lot better shape, and maybe something that we can consider, is the police department has a standing seam roof on it, which is the ideal system for attaching panels to it. And if you guys are amenable, I thought I'd talk to Tom and see if we could size that one too, because we've sized a couple other ones in town here.
And why do people keep looking at the roof that leaks? Is it better? It's big, but is it also better positioned?
Well, it's not badly positioned, but the problem with it is it has a roof system on it that so these are the ridges, okay? These are the ridges on the standing seam. Okay, so you can attach right to the top of those. I have no idea how you can attach to something like that. You've got to drill through the roof or attach it somehow.
And I'm just curious, because you say you've been saying no to it, but do we know for a fact that, I mean, if somebody's gonna come in and look at a place to put it, why not look at both places just in case? If they're up there looking anyway, right?
Because when the Energy Committee got a hold of it, they tried to run with it. And that's when I joined the Energy Committee and started saying, no, that's not a suitable place for it.
But did the solar people weigh in, or just the energy people?
Talked to Tom about that roof the other day. That's what got it back in front of me again.
They being the energy
The
company?
solar people that he invited in.
Oh, okay. So the solar people think it's a good place, correct?
Yeah.
So why not have them look at both roofs and,
Because we have leaks on.
We have had multiple problems with leaks up at the municipal building on the non-standing seam portion of it.
yeah,
And what happens is that apparently that metal expands and contracts for some reason more. And any rubber gaskets or anything like that do not hold up. And we've had to do repairs twice in the last 4 or 5 years.
so that roof needs to be fixed anyway, correct?
No,
At some
this-
point.
we have it fixed now.
Oh, now it's not leaking, or it is?
Well,
It's not.
Oh, it's,
It's not leaking now because we've had, 2 years ago was the last time we had it fixed. So I personally feel it's a bad idea to put anything more on that roof, any more poke throughs in that roof. Every one would be a potential leak. And with the amount of leaks we've had up there, it just doesn't make any sense.
I haven't looked at it.
Particularly if there's a viable option, I guess, is the way I look at it.
yeah, if the other roof is just as viable, then, you know. I didn't know if the solar company was saying that the roof, even though it's leaky, was better for whatever reason, if it needed to be fixed, do it all at the same time, but if that's not the case, then.
Anytime you pierce the metal with a screw,
Yeah.
it has a little rubber gasket on it.
Yeah.
And eventually that rubber gasket is either gonna deteriorate, or they're gonna put it in too tight, and it's gonna be squished out, or
Sounds like the bottom of my VW Bug, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, metal roofs are
Yeah.
just particularly difficult like that when you do poke-throughs. And the roofing companies have told us that. When they come to fix it, they said, any poke-through, you're gonna have problems with eventually.
And I'm in agreement with Ken, that we should have gotten.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know the backstory.
Yeah.
More importantly, where did Lenore find the gift from? Or can't she say?
This is her job. She goes out and finds these.
I know, but where did she find it? Who is it? Do you know? Oh, okay, that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money if we qualify.
Okay.
We have to pay for it up front. There's a lot of other things that are be going into this. We have to not get it tied into this system up here because we won't qualify then. We can't add on to the system.
Gotcha, so standalone.
Yeah, so they actually spent some time with Cal today, I think, and
Oh, wait a minute, you say they can't tie into this system, but can they tie into the system that's already up at the municipal center?
no, that's
So we
not-
have two systems up there.
We have a solar system there and we have one here. Can't be tying into another system, so we have to figure that part of it out.
Correct, but what I'm saying is if they put one on the roof, whatever roof you want, so we'd have two different solar systems up at the municipal center.
Possibly, or one moves. There are other ways to deal
Oh, all
with
right.
this.
I'm assuming we'll get a whole report on everything, so,
You will.
okay.
So Cal actually gave Tom and Sylvia,
Cheryl,
Cheryl, the numbers today.
Mary did work. She found them.
So it looks like we're gonna need about 70,000 kilowatts of power, which is what we've been sizing here. That's the 60 kilowatts that's allowed under this program, so. If you want me to continue with that, I will.
I certainly think so, yeah.
I would say, yeah, if we can get a report that just lines everything out so we can look at it and read it, yeah, sounds good. Why not?
We try and be open with people about what we're doing here.
Well, I know, but there's saying it and then it goes in one ear and out the other, and then there's actually being able to look at the report and read it, which would be lovely. Anyway, no point. If we can, I'd love to read more about it, I think it sounds great.
So does the roof in the front bother people? It's gonna change the look of that building if we do this,
Putting the solar panels across the front.
the front.
I think most
Police
houses in town and everybody else has them, they're not a bad look. It says we're doing our bit to use
Right,
solar.
It's not a historic building, right? So.
But it is in the historic district.
Yeah,
So
that's-
they have to weigh it. Okay. So.
Yeah, we'll handle them.
Yeah,
Or you will, don't you?
understood.
Well, they'll come in and,
Yeah, we can certainly meet with them and make
yeah.
our case.
Yeah, well, we're a long ways from that now, but I just wanna make sure
Understood.
what you want to do.
I think you're on a good place. So,
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I
You
done.
looked at this nice solar canopy,
Really?
right? Put it over top of the parking lot out there.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
just what we need.
as you know, it's done in other parts of the country very successfully. So. All right, anything else on that? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, yeah. It'd be nice if the, whoever did that could get all three systems and maintain them all, instead of having
Well,
these kind
So
of.
what you're gonna be hearing from me again, and if you go up and look at the panels, they're actually tipping. They're not just twisted, they're tipping and falling.
Mhm.
I can't have kids around them like that, we're gonna have to figure out something to do with them. So, this may be the time to solve it.
If they could, even if they can't be, even if all the systems can't be connected for whatever reason, if somebody could still maintain them all, that'd be great.
Yeah.
We just get a. Yeah, well, that sounds good though.
All right,
Thank you.
so I think
Action items?
action item review is where we're at.
So I'm still not quite sure what the meeting calendar with Deanna is or means. Deanna's up at the up at the municipal center, but what is their meeting calendar and why do we need to be on it and why can't we be on it?
So,
It's the opposite.
Oh,
It's that they need our calendar.
and, got it.
Gotcha.
And that still isn't working?
no, I did get an email from our IT company and, our schedules just haven't matched yet, so.
Okay.
The Elkins Museum, the internet is all taken care of now. It's not on
Yeah,
Friday.
thank you. We did,
The-
we can check.
The transfer station is scheduled to be done I got the email today. I think it's next week.
Are these systems being turned on as they get installed, or when do they get turned on?
Yeah, we got the, Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi name and password for the Elkins Museum. Sam gave it to me, so they're all set up over there.
Is there any way we can set up a telephone system with all these different Wi-Fi spots we're creating here now? Or-
Yeah.
And you said transfer station is,
I think it's next week. They've been sending me stuff, cause they had to do some work up there. And, but I just got the email tonight when I came in, at 4:30, so I gotta check on that. I think it was next week.
okay, gonna come, and what are we doing, what's going on with John and Art and anything to move us further along to figure out if we're going to be able to work with him to do roads?
Yeah, so, I talked to John today. He has had no contact from either Art or the contractor. We last met with Art on May 22nd, and we haven't heard anything since then.
You want me to call them?
Well, I think we're gonna have to start shaking the tree, don't you, because we got a contract. If he can't do it, we're gonna have to
Ken's
find
name's
someone else.
here, I just want to make sure it's all.
Your name, yes, then I would say yes, because either he's gonna do it or he's not, right?
I have no idea yet. I don't know if Dougie's interested, Dougie Nelson, I don't know. I haven't talked to him further since I talked to you guys.
Correct, but all I'm saying is we need to know so we can, if he can't, we have to find someone else and time is getting short. So I would say yes, please, if you would call him and see if he's going to help and can he do us a scope of work and be willing to sign a contract, because we need, before we can spend the money, right?
Maybe we can do that, Ken, by the end of this year,
Yeah.
right?
As long as he
We have to have a contract by the end of this year, has to be extended by the end of next year.
Should we invite him to come to the next meeting? Would that be helpful?
Yeah.
Let's invite him and move it along.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems we're having a hard enough time finding people
Yep.
on a short term, and the term is getting short.
Yes.
So you want Art?
I would
moved?
say invite Art to the next meeting. And if you want to call him beforehand, great, but you should be here to either say, yes, I can, or no, I don't wanna. So we know for the record.
When's our next scheduled meeting?
15.
Should, well, I guess we don't need John at that time, but I don't know if we do or don't, but sounds like we need Art.
Yeah. Well, isn't 15 department heads?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he'll be
John
here.
will be here.
All right, good.
I think everybody saw the change of date for Pennacook Rescue.
Yes.
It's now August 21st.
That's the one you gave us the last time, right?
Yep,
Correct.
Okay.
And they,
pretty sure.
Is that over there?
first?
At the fire
21st,
station?
Yep.
Yep.
The last one was at their, whatever they call the municipal complex, the old school.
The old school.
Yeah,
And
yeah, up in their, conference room chambers, yeah. Which, while we're there, I just wanted to look at their system for broadcasting.
oh, yeah, you said with
It's amazing, with a push of one button. So it worked, that night anyway, it worked flawlessly.
21st we're on now, correct? Okay.
21st of August.
5 PM.
Correct, 5 PM.
The agreement with Sherwood Forest, I'm waiting on them for some information. They're gonna take some, and get more details to me about it, so I can draft something. They're gonna And then the COOP plan.
Yeah.
I've actually been having a little time to work on it a little bit.
Good for you.
The template is 72 pages long or something.
It's kind of like that.
But I did some of the easy stuff first. everywhere it says entity, I did, change the town of Canterbury.
There you go.
You can do that in Word.
Yeah, it is, it's a Word document, so it was easy to do. But I also looked through and made some notes to move on, and I've got to talk with the IT department and some other places, so
Yeah.
we are working on that, yep.
Good deal.
And what will we do about the library no parking signs? We didn't agree upon anything. Nobody's really said
No
anything
one has really
lately.
said anything to express what they want to happen.
All right, so
I'm not
there at the
sure
moment.
what to do about that.
All right.
How about Carter Hill?
Letters were sent out to the occupant and the owner of the property last week, so I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
I think Joel gave him, I think he gave him a date, I can't remember, it was like a week or something like that to get back to him. And they were to contact him. So,
Yeah.
Perfect.
And
when is the sale? Oh, July 7th? Can't sign paperwork until July 7th.
So that'll be, I assume, for the 15th, 18 Nottingham, the sale of that
Yes.
parcel.
yes.
Yeah.
And now that I'm back, this is the least important of anything, but now that I'm back from Oregon, I can get back to drafting things and going to fire department meetings and getting tours, which is the only things I have on here at the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. You should definitely do that.
Yeah, check Oregon off my list.
Yeah. You're right.
And I was curious, because I don't remember, where is the dry hydrant?
Well, there's multiple dry hydrants around town.
Okay. And this is for, it says for 5,000 for, is it for a particular? or
So
is that-
that's, go ahead.
That's just the
One on
budget?
Pickard Road.
Correct.
Oh, that's,
That-
okay, that's
that
right.
was the
That's
end.
right.
Which, so I think, as we go into this year with the December tax bill that is going to go up significantly.
Yeah.
We consider whether we want to spend this money or not this year. I think that, and I want to speak for Chief Gamache, he'll be here for the next meeting, and maybe that's something we can talk to him about.
Is there anything else down there?
That's the problem, is there isn't. There are no dry hydrants over on that side of town. So, but, we could certainly draft out of that, area standing water right now.
Yeah.
It would just take a little longer.
Does the Morrow Road crossing have a pond near it, or what area? I haven't even looked at it from that perspective.
Well,
Not
between
that I
Morrow
know
and
of.
New.
I don't think I have anything good.
Yeah. Honestly,
Drafting.
Pickard, if you take a ride, is ideal.
It is.
I'm swimming.
Yeah, right, I'll bet you have it, I'll bet it was really cold.
Full of leeches.
Yeah, but the property owner is amenable to us doing it. The only thing that I want us to consider is, given what's gonna happen to people's tax bills, do we really want to expend $5,000 this year?
If there's room in the budget and it doesn't make taxes go up, if there's a couple of things that don't get spent, can we?
Yeah, and I
mean, that sounds like a safety thing as much as anything.
this may be, most contractors want to do it in the summer when the water is at the lowest point.
Yeah.
I don't know, this summer seems to be wet so far.
Summer too.
I don't know, do you wait till September and look at the budget and see what happens,
Yeah.
or?
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah,
The operating budget has already been approved and we're collecting taxes on it.
right.
And obviously the tax bill in December is gonna be a shock to a lot of people, I would assume.
But how much will this $5,000 expenditure affect the tax bill that's already
I
come?
think that's where we have to look at
Yeah,
where we are in September and
Yeah.
say, okay, well, what are we gonna do?
I mean, if it's a safety issue, there's nothing else on that side of town,
Well,
And we, at that, if we wait a little bit towards the end and see where we're going and if
right,
we can afford it, it seems,
Well, it may be one of those things where you look at it and you say, what are projected expenses for 2025 for warrant articles for large expenses?
okay.
And then make a warrant article for 2025.
Oh, okay.
If we're not buying a road grader or a backhoe, which we're not.
We just got, what did we get? We got something for the Volvo. Where does that go?
We're still waiting. He said mid-July is when the grader should be in, so.
Oh, and actually, so that money that was transferred out to pay for the grader is, it hasn't been expended yet
No.
yeah, okay. So that's gonna wait till the grader actually comes
So
in.
once the grader is in and we've accepted it, then we pay them.
Okay. Cause I know it went out and I was like, where'd it go? No, we don't have it yet.
I wish.
Yeah,
No, we transferred it from the, did transfer it from the cap reserve account
Right.
into the general ledger, so it's sitting there with you guys able to write a check.
okay, perfect.
I do have one more item, Old Schoolhouse Road, just an update on it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
You're gonna color the edge?
yeah, so Eversource had GMI come and look at it, and they met with John, and it looks like they're just gonna do an 1.5-inch overlay. So they're gonna give us a check. They came up with an estimate of $16,645. So Eversource is gonna write a check to the town for that amount, and then we will make arrangements to have it paid.
Nice, okay. Good. Thank you, Eversource.
Okay.
And are they all done now down there?
I think the majority of their work is done. They still have equipment that's in areas they have to pull out. I don't know what. We have a list every week of where they're gonna be doing construction, and it's all over the place. And they're not bringing any more heavy equipment in there, so that's why they feel they're all set to release.
And that's still part of the same project that's going in like at the corner of Hoyt and then down again on the west, or whatever it is, down the southwest road.
It's up, I think it's from up near Bristol somewhere, all the way down to Pembroke, I believe is.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the logging activity?
They are logging now.
Yeah.
John plans on talking with loggers and seeing when they're done, and once they're done, then we'll get GMI in.
Yeah, makes sense. All right,
Right?
anything else?
I don't think so.
So moved.
Thank you.
Good?
Yes,
Okay, second, all those in favor?
to
Adjourn.
To adjourn, yes. Aye,
Aye.
please.
Let's go home.